I brought my Charizard Y and Zoroark team onto the ranked ladder and ended up getting a 12 win streak. This win streak started when my rating was around 2100 and ended up carrying me to about 2250. Hello everyone, this is VGC Mike. Today I'd like to highlight a set of matches that I had while playing on live, which ended up carrying me to my current highest rating. The end of the season is upon us, we only have a few days left. The ratings are really out of control right now, especially at the top of the ladder. And this has been one of the teams I've played the most, but also one of the teams that I've had the most success with. If you've been following my channel for a while, then you might know that sometimes I make these longer battle videos to highlight teams that I consider, some of my favorites that I want to kind of immortalize here on YouTube. To start things off, we have Charizard. Now this Charizard is going to be holding the Y Mega Stone, meaning he'll transform into Charizard Y, turning his ability into Drought. I'm running the moveset of Heat Wave, Solar Beam, and Overheat. Overheat can be swapped out for Weather Ball or Air Slash if you really think those are better. I like the option of just being able to nuke one thing really hard. Sometimes even if the sun is not up, you can still slam things pretty significantly with a very strong Overheat. As you can see on my spread, I am relatively quick, decent amount of special attack investment, but I have a lot of defense and HP investment. Now this does make this Charizard relatively bulky, and can typically live some pretty mediocre rock slide attacks. And what I mean by that is you'll usually live rock slide from Jolly Garchomps or even Sneaslers. Now I would not kind of sit in front of a Garchomp, especially on turn 1 where you do not know his stat spreads, because if you're running into like an Adamant Scarf Garchomp or something like that, you will still get knocked out. It's just built this way essentially for kind of emergency scenarios or scenarios where it's the best play to kind of take that weaker rock slide attack and potentially win the game on that turn. And so far this stat spread has served me pretty well. I've gotten really accustomed to this spread. I feel like I have a good sense for when he's going to live things, when he's going to outspeed things, and it's done really well for me. Perhaps the next most important Pokemon on this team is Zoroark. Zoroark gives us a lot of mix-up options right from the get-go, where you don't know necessarily if this is Zoroark or if it's another Pokemon. You have to get a pretty good sense of when it is appropriate to lead Zoroark and when you want him to kind of come in and pretend to be another Pokemon. On top of that, it's very important to try to decide what he's going to become an illusion of, because that is going to, create certain implications for your opponent. For example, we have a Whimsicott on this team. Whimsicott creates a lot of Tailwind and Encore pressure, so that can make people less likely to hit Protect potentially, can make people less likely to hit Fake Out potentially, and might make them kind of worried about the potential speed tiering of the turn. Another Pokemon you can consider is Farigiraf. That again is a Pokemon that's going to make people less likely to hit Tailwind themselves because they're going to fear you setting Trick Room. They're less likely to use priority moves unless they're really hard calling out Zoroark. So there's a lot of different mind games you can play. And then there's also the reverse type of mind game. I wouldn't lean into this unless maybe you're on like a really higher ladder situation, because a lot of people just do not, assume it's Zoroark from the get-go. But there's a lot of times where you might be like really high on ladder and you might have the reverse effect where you actually have like Whimsicott Charizard and they're fearing the Zoroark. Again, I wouldn't really aim for that. That almost seems like it would be better for like a best of 3 type of situation, open team sheet type of thing. But again, this is, best of 1 ladder. So usually Zoroark's going to do the most work when he's pretending to be someone else in lead, and you're slamming Icy Wind when they're expecting you to be using something completely different. So this guy is actually one of our best anti-leads into Aerodactyl and Garchomp. So if you use Zoroark and Garchomp together, because we have Garchomp on this team, usually a Icy Wind plus Rock Slide will knock out Aerodactyl, assuming he doesn't go Mega. If he does go Mega, then he's usually pretty significantly hurt and you'll still be faster than him after the Icy Wind. And then vice versa, if they just lead Garchomp, then Icy Wind plus Dragon Claw is going to get the KO most of the time. It does depend a little bit on their, their item. Haban has become less used in my experience. I do still carry it on my Garchomp, but that could be a situation where Garchomp could potentially live. Citrus Berry, kind of hit or miss, depends on how they're built. I've seen Icy Wind do anywhere from like 48% to like 60-70%. It just really depends on how they built their Garchomp, and then how well they can take those hits from there. So after the Citrus Berry, if you're taking, like just over half, If you're really defensive, you might be able to live a Dragon Claw from there, but usually that combination will knock out Garchomps, and then Icy Wind plus Rockslide will knock out Aerodactyls. I mentioned him previously, but Whimsicott's very important on this team for Tailwind. Encore is a lifesaver into some of the more quirky, complicated teams. There's a battle in this video where I defeated multiple people because of Encore locking. So people trying to set up, and even Sableye trying to help another opposing Pokemon set up. Whimsicott can become very helpful in those situations. Whimsicott's also pretty unique because it's got Prankster Encore on top of being a grass type. So Sinistcha can't actually Rage Powder Encores away, which is, you know, one of the main reasons you use Sinistcha. Not specifically for encoring, but just protecting a Pokemon that you're trying to help set up. If that Pokemon doesn't have any real way to redirect Encore from a Pokemon like Whimsicott, it's almost pointless to try to set up in front of him. Farigiraf has also carried a lot of weight in these matches. He's specifically very helpful against teams that want to use Trick Room because we can Imprison this. If you're new, Imprison makes it so the opponent can't use any moves that your Farigiraf has. So if you Imprison, they can no longer use Trick Room, they can no longer use Psychic, and they can no longer use Hyper Voice. Now, I would be careful because in my experience, at least on higher ladder, a lot of Farigirafs are running more uncommon moves to try to avoid this. Because if you're running these most common moves, Farigiraf is literally useless. There will usually be one other move they can use because they're unlikely to have Imprison, but it's usually like Protect or Helping Hand. Helping Hand can be a little scary, but if you're only sitting there pressing Protect, this guy's not doing anything. Which means the Trick Room's not going up, which means that this guy's doing his job. A lot of times if you can stop Trick Room from going up, this team is too oppressive for Trick Room to really do anything. But this guy is also really helpful for stopping priority. His ability Armor Tail makes it so no one can use priority moves against either of your Pokemon. A lot of the time this is how I'm dealing with King Gambit if I can manage to bring Farigiraf, just because if you do have Charizard, King Gambit can't touch Charizard because he'll get blown up before he can do anything like a Kowtow Cleave. It's very hard for King Gambit to live a Heat Wave in the sun, so you essentially would need like an Aqua Berry or something. Other than that, the team is not, I mean, we have a pretty fast team, but in certain scenarios, especially if the opponent's using Tailwind or something, you can set up a Trick Room, and I think there's a game or two on this list as well where we set Trick Room and just underspeed the opponents and win the game that way. Again, we don't have a super slow team, but it's just there as a potential option if you happen to be bringing Farigiraf, either mainly to disguise Zoroark or to flip the script on like a Tailwind team. There's certain situations where Trick Room's really good. Or maybe you just knock out, you know, one of their scarier Pokemon that's kind of slower. You realize Charizard's slower than everything else in the team, and then, yeah, you just click Trick Room. Lastly, we have Sneasler. Sneasler can be really good for Fake Out pressure. You can switch Rock Tomb to Dire Claw. I had Rock Tomb on there for opposing Charizard teams originally, but at this point Sylveon's become a lot more popular, and you probably would like Dire Claw to deal with that. I would say also, if you wanted to swap out one Pokemon on this team for something else, Sneasler was probably the one that you could replace. He's the one I definitely brought the least to these matches on this specific video, and I think that's just, you know, coming down to the meta shifting and changing. I'm actually trying to figure out if there's a better Pokemon for this guy right here, but Sneasler is very good, so I do not think he will necessarily disappoint you. It just comes down to if you want to cover for some different things. Now, if you do want to swap this guy out for somebody, I would recommend doing somebody that doesn't have an ability that activates upon appearance. For example, if you switched Sneasler out for Incineroar, his Intimidate activates when he switches in. So if you lead Zoroark and you just have one less option for him to be able to become an illusion of this Pokemon in a convincing way. But with that all out of the way, let's jump right into the battles.
So Zoroark is always very sketchy into King Gambit. I don't know if these are the right guys. I just kind of had to go with it. But yeah, Sword, my this rental team has been out there for a minute. Oh, thanks, Sword. Yeah. You could have faced someone either with this type of team or who might have been using this team. Yikes. Diggers B. Digger's B. Not gonna lie, we do have to respect this guy a little bit. I know he's gonna get rockslide. I'm just worried about something along the lines of like a focus sash or a scarf. Okay, interesting. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna Heat Wave and Moonblast King Gambit. I guess the other option is to set Tailwind. This is a weird one. It's alright. I mean, Digger's B is here, so that's already kind of strange. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I don't mind that, because I can Encore you into Tailwind. And King Gambit is not one-shotting Charizard, that's for sure. Okay. So let's see if they switch out, but even if you do, I mean, nothing really likes getting hit by a Heat Wave. Okay. I mean, that's also Encore. Like, okay. Yep, that hurts. If this misses, it'd be really unfortunate because it doesn't, but alright. Okay, he's got the Digger's B out again. I'm kind of okay with just switching into Garchomp. And Encore? Because I do think you're going for a rock move. Perluke says, have you tried Mega Gardevoir? One of my favorite Pokemon, but I'm not good at team building. I haven't tried it yet. Outside of, well, that's not entirely true. My friend downloaded Pokemon Champions onto his Switch, and I was playing with like rentals and such, and I was using Mega Gardevoir on that team. Who's his Mega again? It's Meganium, right? Okay. So Earthquake actually isn't very valuable. We'll just go Dragon Claw and Moonblast. Just target on this side. Oh, he didn't even bring his Mega. Just Milotic. Dodge on Whimsicott. Not taking a lot of damage here. Did we flinch? We didn't. Okay, cool. So I'm sure you have an ice move. I don't really want to just go down immediately to that. So I'll Tailwind up and see if you match Tailwind or what you end up doing here. But yeah, Luke, I have seen Gardevoir teams be pretty good. Yeah, Ice Beam. So I would say, I think we're fine here. I'm going to reset the sun. I'm going to Rock Slide and Solar Beam. And as long as we don't miss the Rock Slide on Talonflame, I think we're okay. If they opt to protect Talonflame and take the knockout on Garchomp, then Sneasler should be able to come in and clean up, I would think. Okay. This Rock Slide plus Solar Beam could get it too, depending on how the Milotic's trained. Yeah, this is really close. Solar Beam usually does around 80. Okay, so that one's definitely bulky, or at least specially defensive. I mean, I think you just lose now. Unless my Rock Slides just miss everything. So I guess the question is, well, a lot of Milotics don't even run Protect anymore, so I think we just keep trying to hit Milotic. Okay, this one does. So if we land Rock Slide, we're still good here. But if we miss it, it's pretty bad, actually. Okay, cool. I don't think it would have been unlosable or unwinnable, but it would have been pretty annoying because they probably could have picked up the KO on Zard. Garchomp drops to Ice Beam the next turn for sure. I mean, we could have knocked out Milotic with close combat from this range, so. Alright. And actually, counting my win streak from last night, this will put me at 5. So we should be kind of climbing up at this point. $32.47. So I do like Zoroark into a lot of this, if I'm being honest. And a big part of me wants to bring Farigiraf. I like Farigiraf into Basculegion a lot of the time. And I also like if I can stop King Gambit from hitting me with a Sucker Punch. Okay, I don't mind this lead. Luke says, my Manectric team got you into Master Ball. By the way, thank you for that. I'm glad that you mention it because that team is one that I've been working on an update for, and I have, as a backup plan, we might switch to that team eventually. But since you're going to bed, good night, and thank you for stopping in. Maybe check in tomorrow and see if I ended up using it or not. Right now, Charizard's serving me pretty good, so I'm not entirely sure if that is the direction we're end up going in. Let's just Heat Wave and Icy Wind. We could Hyper Voice too. Yeah, it's Hyper Voice because of the King Gambit. This should do quite a bit of damage. Icy Wind would have felt really good this turn specifically, though. Oh, wow. I think they're just going for big damage on Chomp, but that's not a real Chomp, so... that didn't do a lot. I mean, I know the mouse is out, but... still thought that would have done more. Still KOs the Zoroark. I mean, that helping hand damage was really pitiful. Oh, no. Dude, that's really bad. Oh, okay, wait. We hit the right one. Okay. Yeah, I think we just keep going spread moves. Wonder how much that would have done to the mouse if we didn't miss. Super Fang plus Moonblast would probably hurt quite a bit, but seeing as how Dazzling Gleam plus Helping Hand did so little, I think we're okay. Okay, they're probably just going to go for it here. Hopefully they just like taunt. Oh wait, they're slow. It's a slow mouse. I guess they're maximum bulk. Ooh, okay, sweet. I think they were trying to do like a Super Fang type of thing. Okay, it's gonna be Basque. This is tough. Oof. Yeah, I'm going to protect and set up Trick Room. See if they target Charizard or not. Okay. So that's got to be a Scarf Basque because he outsped the Floette, who's very fast. Okay, I'm going to rip a Heat Wave and Psychic into Basculegion. And then if their last Pokemon is King Gambit... Oh, no, please. Oh, yeah, King Gambit gets roasted by this, though. Yeah. I mean, we don't... The Psychic is unfortunate, but... Just don't miss Heat Wave on King Gambit, and I think we're good here. Oh, no. Please. Okay, that's not the King Gambit. But we've missed 2 of our Heat Waves, which is kind of ridiculous. Okay. Missing that second Heat Wave could have cost us for sure here. Okay, I think we need to protect. I'll be honest, I don't think we're winning this if Zard drops. So we do have to get this correct. Basically, we need King Gambit to attack Zard. If he attacks Farigiraf, then I think we just lose. Okay. Oh, we're slower than the King Gambit. He's max speed. Okay. I was worried there because my Farigiraf is actually pretty fast. Sunlight fades though. Interesting. Two more turns of Trick Room. So we definitely have to Heat Wave. I guess the question is... I think we go after Floette here. Please don't miss another Heat Wave. Okay. So this has been a weird one. It's part of the reason I like the team, because there is a lot of options. But at one point I was like, Farigiraf was not the bring here. Zoroark did very little. Like, really, it did not do much at all. And then Farigiraf kind of saves the day with this Trick Room. And now that they're locked into Wave Crash, they really can't do much to us. So, I mean, their Scarf. Both of these attacks are going into Basque. With the Wave Crash damage, I do not see them living this, even if they do target for... You know, they're not living a Dragon Claw at that range. Okay. And that puts me up to a 6-win streak. Kitten Mitten says, I'm running this really spicy core of Basque Legion and King Gambit. Yeah, you're cooking with that one. Alright, so this is our first Aerodactyl team, which is always a pain for Charizard. A lot of times I like to go Zoroark. So Icy Wind plus Rockslide is usually pretty darn threatening. The only concern here is that this is probably a Mega Aerodactyl, because their only other Mega option is Venusaur. And Mega Venusaur, even though he does have Thick Fat, still doesn't handle Zard very well. I do not have this quite worked out in my head just yet, but I think this is what I'm going to try. So I want Zoroark to look like Whimsicott. That'll hopefully make it less likely for them to fake out. This guy's pretty high rank. He's got Arcanine coming in. I'm going to switch right into Charizard, actually. Because I could see you going for like a Will-O-Wisp. Giga Drain even. We resist both of those very good into this slot. Right now they're thinking Psychic on Whimsicott. What is this? Okay, cool. Okay. Now let's switch to Garchomp. I'd expect them to protect on Venusaur here, otherwise you are just going to lose him. That Psychic did a lot, by the way. I mean, it is one of Venusaur's only weaknesses in this form, but I still did not expect it to do that much. He got nuked. Whimsicott, the real Whimsicott actually would have been a good switch in here too to punish the Protect, but I kind of like our position. Don't think Snarl saves them. So, I mean, our biggest concern is the Aerodactyl. I think I'm just going to go Rockslide and Heat Wave to punish that. And I think there's a good chance we could pick up Venusaur with that, for sure. Especially if we don't miss our moves. Okay, here's the Aerodactyl. So we need to hit Rockslide into that slot. It usually does quite a bit, and hopefully Heat Wave in the Sun will pick it up from there. I think it can. Okay, he does end up living. Okay. Your last Pokemon's Arcanine? I don't think we need Charizard anymore. So I wouldn't mind him dropping here. Interesting. Let's see how much this does to Ninetales. Oh, dude. I think we're cooked now. I kind of wanted them to knock out Charizard that turn. Okay, they miss Charizard. Okay, cool. Oh, wait, but Oh, wait. Charizard takes a Blizzard. Right? If we don't miss this, we're good, right? Cool. Kitten Mittens is asking if this is bulky Trick Room Zard. It's not meant to be. He is bulky. I will... Yeah, he is bulky. I mean, we're in a good spot. We essentially just need to make sure Tailwind goes up. And then I think we just win with Earthquake from there. So yeah, he's bulky. He's really just bulky to survive like certain rock slides. He's pretty standard, I would say. He's not very slow. If anything, I might run mine like a tad faster than most, but he's not super fast either. Okay, Flamethrower. I'll just Encore him into Flamethrower and switch in Garchomp. Because I don't see you really winning the game with that. And this way you can't like protect and undo all my stuff. Yeah. We did get a really nice dodge on the rock slide. But seeing as how I know I've been flinched a million times in my life from rock slide, I'll take it. We're on a 7-win streak. Ooh. The Slowbro is scary though. If he wants to like try to set Trick Room, that could be pretty awful. He's got a lot of Trick Room stuff, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring Farigiraf. Okay, we're not going to bring Zoroark at all. Dr. Bao Bao says, nice to catch your stream after a few days. Again, the last time you caught my stream might have been the last time I did stream. Okay, and actually they did bring the Slowbro. So, this is cool. So Sableye cannot use any priority moves against me, and I can stop the Trick Room. So I'm really happy to get the right call here. This could hypothetically be Mega Slowbro too. Interesting. Oh god. All right. Heat Wave. I don't know what this guy's trying to do right now. I am scared. I'm big enough to admit that I'm scared right now. So my plan right now is to get Whimsicott in for Encore, because I think if this Slowbro sets up enough of these, we're in big trouble. It is Mega Slowbro. Okay. So this guy's trying to become like an unkillable wall. We could lose to this very easily, I will not lie. Okay. Please set up another move. We really need you to. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I was going to say if I was really fearing something from the Sableye, we could switch in the Farigiraf, but I think we're okay. Dang, finished it down. Right through the... Oh, we crit him. Okay. Alright, it's going to come down to who their last Pokemon is, because right now Sableye is not going to cut it. It's Incin. Okay. So we do need to do this appropriately. It's got 2 more turns of Encore. So if I switch Whimsicott out, we absolutely need to make sure he's back in another turn. I think we'll switch Sneasler out. And we'll just hard switch Whimsicott in one way or the other after this. That's going to be my plan. Okay, they do fake out the right call. Yep. Okay, so we'll switch Whimsicott in. We could just fake out. I guess fake out's pretty safe. Okay. Okay, they forfeit. That was a weird, scary one, even though we really didn't lose much. But I'm not going to lie, that one freaked me out for a second because they went with a strat I was not expecting them to do. Okay, 8 wins. This is a lot for me, to be honest with you. I don't think I've had an 8 win streak since I was in like the lower tiers. Alright, this one's a little scary. Overall, I really like our odds. But it's going to just come down to like the first turn. Like we'll know within the first turn if we're going to win this or not. Because like unironically, just leading Basculegion and using Wave Crash into Charizard is probably the hardest thing for us to deal with. Kind of like Zoroark here. Okay. So when I see everything they've got going on over there, I'm worried about Trick Room. Because like, why do you have Torkoal on a Blastoise team? And I think either way, they probably lean towards Trick Room. So I want to use Imprison on the Trick Room. Okay. This is pretty decent for us. We have Citrus on Farigiraf, which I think will put us in a pretty good spot as far as surviving a double up if they don't choose the Trick Room. This guy's pretty high up on the ladder, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does go on the offensive, seeing my Farigiraf here, but he might go for it. Better Claw. Okay, this could also just end things right here. Okay, we double hit, which is very good. Sneasler lives. Get a burn on Farigiraf. They have their own Citrus. Okay. Well, he can't Psychic me and he cannot Hyper Voice me. Thunderbolt. Okay, so we're going to lose Zard. Oh, no, we don't lose Zard. That's crazy. Wasn't really expecting that, I'm going to be honest. So my question now is, do I need Charizard? He's really good, so dropping him for no reason is kind of like... feels bad. Alright, let's switch to Garchomp and Hyper Voice. Okay. This should be pretty good damage on Blastoise. That doesn't work. This guy's high up in the ladder. I don't know why he did that. I think he just gave up out of embarrassment there. I mean, we were in a crazy good position, but yeah, Feint isn't a priority move, so Farigiraf blocks it. And yeah, we're in 2200 rating now, and we're in a 9 win streak. Okay. This team, we could cheese them with Icy Wind Rockslide. I'm not going to lie though, the Sylveon is scary. And I'm pretty sure this is a Focus Sash Basculegion if I'm remembering correctly, so we can't like force him into one specific... I know this team, I don't think I've faced it yet, so I don't know exactly what they're going to end up doing. I'm going to try to mind game him. I'm just worried about the Sylveon. I think if they lead Sylveon, I basically needed Charizard. The question is, who do I want Zoroark to pretend to be? I feel like it's Whimsicott. Well, we're going to bring Whimsicott, but we're going to have Zoroark pretend to be Charizard. This guy's high rated as well. He's probably just on the cusp of 1000. Okay, this is the lead we want to see. And we probably would have been better off here if we had Zoroark pretend to be Whimsicott, because now they could realistically just protect and scout. And if they do, we're pretty much, it's pretty much over, not gonna lie. So, okay. That's also worse for us. Mega Arrow is definitely tough in general. And we also do not beat him with this combo. So regular Aerodactyl usually gets knocked out by Icy Wind plus Rock Slide. They don't protect, so that's really good. Let's see if we can flinch one of these guys. Okay, we missed someone, so that's terrible. Aerodactyl. Okay, that's the one we wanted to hit more than anything. Okay. If they just... Oh, that's Scarf Garchomp. Okay. That makes sense. Double Rock Slide? Yeah. Zoroark lives, which is amazing. I'm afraid using the same exact attack again is a little too obvious, but it's kind of like what we need to do if they just like try to let these guys drop. I think I'm going to send in Whimsicott to try to cover for a protect, because I think Aerodactyl protecting is really likely. Okay, switching. Sylveon in. He does protect. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're going to switch in Charizard, who should take a Hyper Voice fairly well. This is also a very obvious turn. So Encore, if you're afraid of Encore, you switch out. Luckily, the Garchomp is low enough to the point where if he switches into Garchomp, for example, Charizard should be able to knock him out with Heat Wave plus Tailwind. Okay, he doesn't switch out. We're doing good. But the Hyper Voice is going to hurt still a bit. Not going to lie. Okay, Charizard takes it well, Whimsicott doesn't. Heat Wave. I mean, you have to switch out. I think we just Heat Wave and set up our Tailwind. Because Tailwind has higher priority than Quick Attack, and I don't know if Quick Attack even KOs us from this range. And Garchomp and Charizard in underneath the Tailwind should be pretty scary for this guy. Okay. Okay. We do not want to miss anything from here on out. He does not attempt the heat or the quick attack. Crit on Sylveon. I don't think it matters too much because of who we are bringing with us, but I'll take it. Okay, so we have Zoroark here as the anchor. We're in a good spot, but they could still mind game us themselves a little bit here. Okay. So like here, I think what we have to do, like the most solid play we can make would be rock slide, knowing that it picks up the KO on Sylveon. It can miss though, so it's not like the safest thing either. And then solar beam into Bask. And then I guess they're... Oh, they're going Aqua Jet. That doesn't KO. No way. Oh, they had a lot of faith in that. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty bulky. Pretty bulky on Charizard. Defense specifically, so both of those crit. That's not going to matter because this is usually Focus Sash on Basculegion on this set. And the Solar Beam would... If you're not bulky, it's going to do 100% without any problem. So we essentially just needed like 1 damage on that. But Rock Slide was always going to do probably around 10 or so, 10%. Okay. I mean, we're kind of cruising, guys. Ten wins in a row. 12, 25. Placement 16, 22. We're probably realistically in a row. Okay. Yikes. I mean, we have a game plan for this, generally speaking. But the Politoed, the Espathra, and the Floette are new. So usually what we do is we go Zoroark and Whimsicott to challenge the Sableye and the Archaludon. Garchomp is usually a bring as well. But with this composition, I'm wondering if Sneasler's the way. My Sneasler doesn't have Dire Claw though, so it probably is not super helpful. Toad has Encore and Hypnosis. Interesting. Okay, so this is what, Gravity? Oh yeah, that would make sense. I mean, if you're using Gravity, you're probably protecting turn 1, right? Am I wrong about that? Oh no, he's not. He's a crazy man. Wait, he's not using Hypnosis. I mean, unless he's using like raw Hypnosis. Roselli Berry, we expected that. Kind of crazy that if that was the real Charizard, we would have just blown this guy up. Okay. Interesting. Do you know if this Espathra also runs Mental Herb? The scary part is he should know that I am. I'm just going to rip it as if I don't yet. Oh, he used... Interesting. It's Colbert. Okay, that's good. That means he shouldn't be able to get out of here. I mean, he's going to set up a lot of comm mines, unfortunately. Well, the cool thing is, Encore is a priority move, and will have faster priority than Sableye will. So I can Encore him. And then Encore can't be used on Encore, so if he's trying to like disable Encore lock me, it won't work. Okay, that's fine. Unless Sableye does some crazy shenanigans here. Yeah. Okay. And I've got some crazy shenanigans in myself. I'm just going to raw Heat Wave. I'm not going to use my Mega. Because if they switch in Politoed, I want to be able to activate it afterward. Okay. And actually having them locked into Protect instead of Encore is, or not Encore, Calm Mind is pretty sweet. Because then they're not becoming like... Okay. I mean, I can't use Encore on him. I guess I'm just going to set Tailwind. I mean, I'm still disabled, right? I would think I am for one more turn. Yeah. So I guess we'll just Tailwind up. Oh, shoot. Makes sense, makes sense. Okay, that might have been a misplay a little bit. Encore for one more turn. I guess we're okay. I am going to have to overheat, though. Do I? I guess we could just switch out. And Protect. As long as I go for the Encore next turn, he can't really, like, stop me. Because my Encore will always go before his Encore or Disable. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Curious. I guess Will-O-Wisp would be bad here, right? If he has it. Okay. So we're disabled now. Ooh. Critical hit right through the screens. I mean, has to happen eventually. Okay, Floette is going to come out. We have Tailwind for one more turn. I would think we're good to go here. We just have to not throw. Let's Dragon Claw. And Moonblast. Okay. Sinistra. They didn't bring the rain at all? Or does Sableye have Rain Dance? Encore, Disable, Light Screen, Reflect. Oh, he doesn't. Interesting. Decent damage. Not so decent, but that's because of the Reflect. Garchomp lived that, though. Which I didn't really want him to, but... This is really awkward now because they could set Trick Room. I really wish Garchomp dropped to that. That's unfortunate. We just have to go for it, I guess. I'm going to try to put Floette in Heat Wave range. I think we'll be pretty good as long as we manage to do that. Oh, it doesn't have Trick Room. That's good. I think this is guaranteed then. As long as we don't mess up with the Encore Disable stuff. Dazzling. Okay. No Trick Room is pretty crazy. Flinch. So I guess we'll never find out if this guy changed it or not. Alright, double Charizard time. Heat Wave. Plus Shadow Ball. Luckily, everything's so low that I don't have to feel bad about locking into Overheat, but I just have to make sure I don't click Heat Wave again next turn, because if I give them the opportunity to disable and block that, that's like their one out to winning this game, I would say. Okay, interesting. I mean, if we double connect Shadow Ball, this is super over. No possible way to win. Double connect Heat Wave. Did I say that or did I say Shadow Ball? Okay, we double connect Heat Wave, and they're slow Floette, like really slow. Okay, so you can't stop both of these guys. All I have to do is Shadow Ball plus Solar Beam on the low HP Sableye, and it's a guaranteed. Yeah. Okay, I guess we're going to 11. Speaking of crazy, this guy's nuts. The heck? This is probably the team that's going to roll me too, if I'm being honest. I mean, I'm definitely not going to underestimate Vivian, because that's a Pokemon I've used. Okay, we're going to lead Zard. Scarf coaching Lucario. I don't mind if they want to do that because we're leading Zoroark. I guess we bring Chomp and I'll bring Whimsicott in the back. Yeah, because we're leading Zoroark, we should be fine from either Final Gambit or coaching. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't want to jinx myself. Oh, okay. We're not even going to know. Okay. Let's see here. All right, we'll just lock Icy Wind and we will protect. Let's see if they want to fake out Whimsicott. They can't Sleep Powder Whimsicott, and after an Icy Wind, they shouldn't be able to Sleep Powder Charizard either, so this is a pretty good spot. I did want to be locked into Shadow Ball against the Starmie, but there's a lot of good chances for us here. Okay, cool. That's exactly what we want to see. And they're very unlikely to hit Sleep Powder into Whimsicott unless they're really just covering for the Zoroark. Okay. Okay. So Icy Wind plus Heat Wave kind of goes crazy here, I would say. Okay. So we'll be powering up Ceruledge, unfortunately, but... yeah, let's see what happens here. Zoroark locking into Shadow Ball endgame here is looking really good. Okay. Makes sense. Guess we're going to just try to Blast Star me with the Solar Beam. Switching Zoroark back in with Shadow Ball is really scary for this duo. I'm not sure how much damage Starmie can do. It has huge power, so it's got double attack, but it's in the sun. It's going to protect. Okay, so Whimsicott is actually a pretty solid switch in here, I would say. Let me Bitter Blade. Okay, I'm gonna Encore. This is tough. Yeah, I'll call the Weavile switching in here. Oh, they tried to double protect. That's crazy. Okay. So I'm going to Encore Zoroark into or not Zoroark. I'm going to Encore Ceruledge into Poltergeist because he won't be able to hurt me as a normal ghost type. And then we should have him in a really awkward situation. Okay. So this is a good switch by him. That he had a guaranteed protect this next turn. That's why I kind of thought he wouldn't go for it. Okay, so we could Moonblast here. No, we don't have to do that. I'm gonna Tailwind and send in Chomp. So I think you're going to probably knock off. Oh, he's gonna switch. Okay. It's definitely a complicated game. No fake out either. Probably knock off into Garchomp, I would guess. Yeah. I mean, do you have Ice Shard on Weavile? If you do, I can't really do much about it. I'm just going to double Weavile. Well, not double. I'm going to... Do have him running around. Ooh, okay, that's good. I think we win. Yep. So we're going to knock out our Whimsicott, but Cerulean shouldn't be able to handle a 3v1, even though Charizard's pretty useless. Whimsicott has been crazy helpful in these last few matches. All right, here comes the worst Charizard impression of all time. One, because we're at full health when Charizard has taken a lot of damage, and two, because the sun didn't come up. So we're just going to Shadow Ball and Dragon Claw for guaranteed damage. That doesn't miss. Okay. Well, that's good. I still don't think it's possible for you to win, though. Dragon Claw probably... I mean, that's got to do at least 30... Oh, that was a crit. Okay, so that's how much a normal Shadow Ball would have done. A little lucky there, but I still think we just have too many resources. Yeah. He probably needed to crit himself. Like, a crit Bitter Blade one-shot would have been pretty good. But then we could have just Earthquaked next to Charizard. I would have Earthquaked there, but I didn't want him to, like, protect. Okay, that's a 12-win streak. Placements are going up less and less. So I think I had my my presumptions about how much I would be going up is definitely off. I think that this top 1,000 area is just very dense. 1085. Okay, so we will go up to top 1,000 if I win the next one.